Guys, we have a big breaking news coming out. Major immigration enforcement operation are reportedly scheduled to take place in San Francisco Bay Area as soon as tomorrow. The National Guard is also expected to be deployed in support of federal agents. Once again, this is a big breaking news coming out right now. Give me a second here. Let me just pull up this information here. If you can, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Once again, breaking news: surge of federal agents is coming to the Bay Area, and the Coast Guard in Alameda is expecting Custom and BP agents to arrive Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. All right, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Guys, do me a favor, share the video. Share it on your Facebook page or YouTube post, Twitter, or any platform that you have. Make sure you share it. And thank you again for your support. I really appreciate it, guys. Check out the videos I posted today. The links will also be in the comments box. Federal agents will start arriving in the Bay Area on Thursday as part of a ramp-up of operation in the region. The U.S. Coast Guard confirmed an unknown number of Customs and BP Border Protection operation will be based out of Coast Guard Island in the Oakland Estuary, the Coast Guard spokesman said. All right, so we're about to see something here. So Portland, you guys already know the big breaking news. We talked about that a few days ago. The Supreme Court gave the green light to Donald to send in the National Guard in Portland. Now we have San Francisco and, again, Chicago. So all these states, the cities are going to see a lot of National Guards. Base Alameda is preparing to support Custom Border Protection agents starting tomorrow as a place of operation. Now, the news follows days of rumors of mass immigration raids coming to San Francisco and the Bay Area, and follows similar actions in major cities like Los Angeles, Portland, and Chicago. Last night, me and my wife watched the movie. I forget the name of the movie, but it's about these young ones that is being sold to the gangs, the cart, the gangs, and they take these young ones and then place them somewhere in the West Coast here in the Sleeping Giant, and they place them in this abandoned place where they do clothing, like, just making clothes and everything. It just, man, it's a very powerful movie, and a lot of stuff like the trafficking and stuff happen in those regions in the West Side. And there's been like hidden underground stuff where they keep a lot of them there, and it's crazy. It says here the U.S. Commander-in-Chief has repeatedly mused about sending the federal forces to San Fran to target these gangs and and people who are homeless without articulating a specific plan. They're not going after the homeless like that. They're putting them in a better place, like a shelter, because they are out there in the sidewalk. They sleep in tents, and when they use the bathroom, it's out there in the public. Something that Gavin has failed to clean up. So it says here, San Fran Chronicle first reported news of a major immigration operation with more than 100 agents headed to the Bay Area. So it seems like it's going to be 100 for now. A spokesperson for Gavin, the governor, said that the current ramp in operation in the Bay Area follows the same playbook that the U.S. Commander administration followed in LA. Now it says here, starting in June federal immigration agent carried out coordinated operations across LA, targeting workplaces and cuffing more than 100 individuals. Now, the action led to a widespread community response, including protests and the declaration of state of emergency by the LA County Board of Supervisors. Now, it says here fights over the authority of these federal agents have spilled out into the courts. A federal judge issued an order that barred agents from relying solidly on factors like race, accent, job, or location to justify stops. However, on September the 8th, the U.S. Supreme Court lifted those restrictions as the underlying legal challenge proceeds, allowing federal agents to resume more expansive immigration stops in Los Angeles. It says here, San Fran City Attorney Mr. David and Attorney General Rob have threatened to file immediate lawsuits if the U.S. Commander-in-Chief ordered the National Guard to the city as an alleged unlawful act. You guys could file the lawsuits, but you're going to end up losing just like Portland and others. But it's crazy because I never seen someone going after their commander-in-chief like that. I mean, scripture tells us that we must respect the high authority, the power. And we're not seeing that here in the Sleeping Giant. Everybody is just against their own commander-in-chief. That's very concerning for this empire. Now it says here, but a lawyer for the state arguing in federal court in Pasadena on Wednesday appeared to acknowledge that deploying federal law enforcement to California did not have to be held to the same standard as sending the military. Now this case centered on whether it was lawful for the U.S. Commander-in-Chief to federalize the California National Guard, deploying soldiers to Los Angeles this summer. Now, the Bay Area politician began responding to the deployment. When similar deployments have occurred in other cities, what we've seen are overly aggressive immigration enforcement tactics that lead to, again, the rise, said State Senator Jesse, a Democrat from Oakland. Now, it says here in a statement, terrorizing our communities doesn't make us safer. They're not terrorizing your community. The one that's doing that are those lawless ones, the groups that's coming out at nighttime. So it drives hardworking people into the shadows. We are not safer when our community is too afraid to go to work. Reports crimes of criminals bring their young ones to school or go to the hospital. I don't know why they keep calling them this name. Because if they are this name, then they are allowed to be here. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, they're twisting words here. ICE is going after illegal, okay? Not them. But again, guys, it just like the No Kings protest, they use certain videos from 2017 to make it look like, a big movement. Don't be deceived, guys. So it says here, this is not the correct trajectory to be taken right now. As a city, I think it's our moral duty and responsibility to stand up to make sure our residents are safe. I live under a during my years, I've seen firsthand when an autocrat or a wannabe autocrat weaponizes our Constitution for personal gain. This is sad. This is just sad. So first they say that Donald, it's they call him the guy with the mustache in Germany, Nazis. So first they call him that, and now they're calling him this other names. It's just really sad that Once you start calling people's names like that, all these different names, obviously it just make you look bad. So Supervisor Jackie, whose mission district will likely be one of the epicenter of a federal immigration operation, said during a Tuesday board meeting she is expecting a shutdown similar to that of the C-19 if the U.S. commander sends National Guard into the city. In this moment, it is important to spread power, not panic. The one that's spreading panic is you guys. The commander in chief has every right to send in the soldiers to any region that is seeing lawlessness. It's not a crime. But again, the only one that is complaining about it is the blue states. The red states is not complaining about this. In this moment, it's important to spread power, not panic, Fielder said in a text message after news broke on surge of federal agents. Everyone has right in this country, regardless of their country of origin. Correction, illegals don't have rights. And that's what Donald is going after. The millions that came into our sleeping giant land that has been, every November they cast their VOTES and they're not supposed to do that. Most of them live in the blue area. That's why Cali, every time when there's the election, it goes blue really quick because they have so much people, millions that came from other regions, other land. Everyone has right. Yes. Correction. U.S. citizens has right in this country. Boom, there you go. It sounds better. Regardless of their country of origin, everyone has the right to remain, okay? Ask to speak to a lawyer, ask to see a warrant signed by a judge. Here's the thing. That's only to American citizens. That's it. All right, we go by the Constitution. Whatever that dude said, whatever your origin, whatever, no. It's U.S. citizens. You got to say, again, they twisting words here. U.S. citizens have rights. There you go. Major Daniel planned to speak publicly on Wednesday about the imminent arrival of the agents. I'm going to skip this person's name. Threatened legal action if the U.S. commander were to send federal troops to San Fran. It seems like these people are frightened. They are scared. Why? Because they know that Donald is coming after the millions that came into the sleeping giant. They go out and they back the blue. And since they're being sent home, the blue is not going to be winning November. Once again, you have this person threaten legal action if the U.S. commander were to send the troops to San Fran, appears to mirror a playbook other cities, including Portland, have taken to resist a militarized incursion by the U.S. commander. The U.S. commander announced he would deploy soldiers to Portland in a social media post on September 27, but legal challenges so far have successfully blocked troops from entering the city. Portland officials told The Standard in an interview on Wednesday that the city created an incident command model similar to the way its resources are coordinated to address the homelessness situation. The Bureau of Emergency Management in Portland has worked with its Bureau of Public Safety, which includes policy and fire department. Meanwhile, the city's mayor, Keith, has held press conference with mayors in Portland region as well as faith leaders and community organizations to show a sense of unity in opposition to the U.S. Commander-in-Chief actions. That's where we at right now, guys. Here's the thing. When they start going nuts and start doing the lawsuits and stuff like that, obviously they are in fear. They are in fear. I don't know if you guys seen the movie, the one I mentioned. I mean, you got all these people just coming in. A lot of them are in underground. They are being used to make, certain product and clothes. I mean, they do this in the Red Dragon too. The sneakers from Jordan, those Nike sneakers and stuff, Again, young ones like 10 years old, they make those sneakers. They gain profit from it. And we've seen a lot of these stuff happening, and not again, nobody's talking about it. Again, 400,000 young ones ended up missing under Joe. 400,000. The millions that came in under Joe, 400,000 ended up missing. Where are those young ones? This is the reason why Donald is sending the troops to clean up the mess. Apparently, no one is really seeing the real deal here. And you have these Looney Tunes in the spotlights are putting out some twisting words. Everyone has the right. Correction, Americans have the right. Those that came to the Sleeping Giant illegally, no, they don't. Because they're not under the Constitution. The Sleeping Giants are. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Share the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Till next time later. Peace.